Hello, and welcome to video 5 of the Arts Integration InVenture Challenge mini-series. This video is really an offshoot of video 4, the presentation, specifically for teachers who have students that get very nervous. I will give you some tips to help you work with a student to help them stay calm, and at the end I will have a short mindfulness session which you could actually show to your students directly. What is nervousness? Is it bad? Biologically, stress and nervousness are caused by our body thinking we're in danger, so the sympathetic nervous system is activated and releases adrenaline. You may have heard of adrenaline or this system before as the fight or flight system. Another common reaction is to freeze. If you've ever seen students totally clam up because of nerves, they're having a freeze reaction. The release of adrenaline has a lot of effects. It causes a faster heart rate and breathing rate, can cause a person to empty their bladder and bowels, slows saliva production, and releases glucose into the blood. These reactions are very helpful in dangerous or life-threatening situations because they make it easier to run or fight. Nervousness has a point and can be good. However, this system gets hijacked when we're worried and anxious about situations that are not life-threatening, but very pressure and stress-inducing. It's usually not helpful today, but it is very normal. Due to nerves before a presentation, students may be shaky, need to use the restroom a lot, or be breathing rapidly. Depending on how much pressure students feel, this nervous reaction can induce panic attacks, although this is not common. As their teacher, you can try to help take off some of the pressure students feel by constantly and honestly telling your students that you are proud of what they've accomplished and don't care what happens with the presentation or if they win or not. Depending on how your school or district is set up, you may even think about referring a student to the school counselor or therapist. This is especially true when students show signs of nervousness in multiple situations, like taking tests, handing in assignments, getting back grades, or speaking up in class. You can help your nervous students get through the presentation using grounding techniques. These techniques are anything that pulls you away from the worry and back into the present moment. 5-4-3-2-1 is a grounding technique that encourages a person to use their 5 senses to become aware of the present moment. Ask your nervous student to list 5 things they hear, 4 things they see, 3 things they can touch, 2 things they can smell, and 1 thing they can taste. It may take a few rounds of this technique to really calm a student down, and you can switch things up each time. For example, 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you smell, 2 things you touch, and 1 thing you taste. Another technique is to force the student to think about something other than the thing that is stressing them by having them do simple math. I do not recommend this technique if you know the student dislikes math or has dyslexia or trouble with numbers, as this technique could just frustrate those students even more. But this technique is a good distraction for many students. Have them do math in their head. Ask them to count backwards from or up to 100 in different intervals. Count by 5s or 10s to make it easier, or by any number that's not 5 or 10 to make it a little bit harder. Another technique is to have the student list their favorite things, be it food, movies, games, or places, or any other positive things in their life, perhaps family or friends. One more grounding technique is to practice self-compassion. You can teach the students phrases they can tell themselves when they are having tough moments. For example, lighten up on yourself. No one is perfect. Gently accept your humanness. You are imperfect. You are wired for struggle, but you are worthy of love and belonging. I forgive myself and accept my flaws. I'm doing my best and that is enough. I am enough. Everyone makes mistakes. I accept and forgive myself for mine. I'm proud of myself for trying. Lots of people don't even try. My opinion of myself is the only one that matters. Today, I will not stress over things I cannot control. Those are some really good phrases that can help your students feel better when they get nervous. One more technique I want to talk about is mindfulness. Mindfulness is a practice of noticing what your body is feeling and realizing what you're thinking and feeling. The goal of mindfulness is actually not to make yourself less stressed or calm down, but mindfulness practice often has the benefit of a decrease in anxiety. It's a practice that's found in almost all cultures and religions, so feel free to do more research into mindfulness and meditation in your culture or your students' culture. For students, there are two main types of mindfulness practices I want to talk about. The first is breath. In this, you focus on whatever part of your body you feel yourself breathing, be it the nose, mouth, chest, belly, back, or somewhere else. Simply focusing on the breath can be very soothing and help center a student before the presentation. The second type is mindful movement. While you perform some stretching exercises, try noticing how your body and muscles really feel and where you actually feel the pulls and stretches. One thing to realize is that no matter what type of mindfulness practice you do, you will start thinking about other things and get distracted. This is normal. This is okay. You can say thank you to those thoughts and refocus on your body. You can find many videos or audios of mindfulness online, and I've put my favorite website in the description. But to make your life a little easier, here is a 3-minute meditation that you can play directly for your students. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me in this mindfulness of breath practice. I ask that you sit so that you can be awake, alert, and comfortable. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. If you would like to keep them open, try to focus on one spot. And just focus on your breath, noticing where in your body you feel your breath. Noticing your breath, maybe in your nose, in your mouth, in your chest, in your back, in your belly. Just noticing where your breath is and feeling your breath. Noticing when your mind starts wandering, saying hello to those thoughts and focusing again on where in your body you feel your breath. Not trying to control your breath or count your breath, just noticing and feeling your breathing. noticing your breath and focusing on your breath. As you hear the chime, continue to focus on your breath and then slowly open your eyes as the chime disappears. Thank you for participating in this mindfulness of breath practice. I hope you enjoyed.